Yo, so guys, welcome back to the most videos. In today's video, I wanted to make a top 10 best attacker list because there are some changes that I've kind of made to the list. As the game progresses, obviously, most monsters, they don't really remain their spots except some, obviously. So I wanted to make an updated version of the top 10 best attackers. Hopefully this video will give you guys a new perspective on what monsters to invest in and if you should actually continue investing on that specific monster that you were already investing in or not, and also to obtain, obviously. So I hope you're all excited for today's video. If you are, make sure to drop a like, subscribe. Anyways, it's going to get started. Now, I do want to mention one thing real quick. So this list, it actually includes a lot of Pierce monsters, so something to prepare yourself for. And on top of that, there will be some monsters that aren't really, like, they don't have the attacker role, you know what I mean? But they're used as attackers right now, and they're really good being used that way. So if there's like a specific monster, like let's say there's a support monster, and that support monster is being used as an attacker, it doesn't mean that they're bad as a support, it just means that they're just better as an attacker, and they don't have that attacker role in them, you know what I mean? They're kind of called hybrid monsters, or something that I'd like to call them hybrid monsters, because they can be used either as a support or attack, or megaton, like tank or attack, whatever it is, you know what I mean? Also, I do want to give a quick I just want to make a note real quick before we actually get started. There are monsters like, for example, K911. K911 is supposed to be an attacker. I don't know if you guys actually knew this, but this is supposed to be an attacker. If you actually read the description, not this description, but the actual description for this monster, it actually like kind of mentioned that it's actually an attacker, but it's not an attacker, you know what I mean? It's many players just run it as a supporter because that's what this monster is used for, you know what I mean? It's best used as a supporter. Something to kind of throw out there. It doesn't mean that this monster sucks. It's just that I just wanted to make this list out of like pure like raw damage or power or whatever, you know what I mean? Also, there are gonna be some monsters that I don't mention in this list, but I would like to kind of give them credit. For example, Connector would be one of them, and there are many other ones, obviously. So this is another monster that's not in the list, but he is pretty good, okay? So something to invest in. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into this list. So, by the way, this list is not in order, except maybe the last two monsters, let's say. So most of this list that I'm going to be going over, it's not in order. Keep that in mind, okay? It doesn't mean if I mention, let's say, one monster now, later on I mention another one, that doesn't mean that the one I mentioned later on is better, you know what I mean? But anyways, let's go ahead and get into this. One of the monsters I actually want to kind of mention, he's actually from the Galactic era. Can you guys guess who it is? The one and only Grinde. This monster is amazing. He's very powerful as an attacker. So let's quickly go over why is this monster so good. Well, you have Pierce, Status Caster, right? You have Area Nature Protection. Immune Suppression is not really something to kind of note because it's just there. It's just a trait. It's nothing too fancy. What's really fancy about this monster is the Status Caster Pierce. Artifact Hater that you're getting as a triple damage. So that's very nice, right? You're going to be dealing triple damage against artifact monsters. Bulwark is also something to kind of like note. So Bulwark and Area Nature Protection with these two is just so good. So overall, this monster is very good. He has an insane nature damage skill. Massive nature damage. He has AoE skills, which is very nice. Another monster that I didn't want to mention in this list is Harpiker. I don't. Okay, here's the thing. This monster, some of you guys are probably gonna be like, oh, Harpiker's good, this and that. Well, he's alright. He's not really the best. The reason for why I didn't actually put him in this list is because his Pierce runs out. Like, I know he has Pierce as Status Caster here, but once this gets PER'd, or if it like runs out, this monster can't do much. So that's why I didn't want to put him in this list. But the monster is good, okay? It's just not the best. It's not worth putting in this list, let's say. All right. Also, another monster to mention that's really good is Dragbite. If you want to invest in it, pretty good attacker, but he's not in this list. All right. Anyways, moving on. Here is another monster that I kind of want to mention, and he is from the Doomed era. Can you guys guess who it is? Doomed era. Where'd he go? I'm pretty sure many of you guys already know who I'm talking about, right? The one and only Cupid. This mythic has Pierce as a trait, which is very nice. Not even a Status Caster, but as a trait. He also has a cooldown immunity, so he can't be CD8. Celestial, you know, giving you immunity to stun, mega stun, and bleeding. There's Bulwark and Sunburn to everybody started battle. Very nice. He has multiple skills that gives him an extra turn, and then he has 2 AoE skills, of 1 fire and 1 light. He also has a very nice relic slot, actually both of them, 1 mask and 1 SN, and obviously he does have access to Doom talents, which are very, very nice in my opinion. But anyways, moving on. Next monster, the one and only Serpentex. Yeah, this monster was the 1000th monster that was actually released, and this one thing is very, very, very similar to Cupid. I'm sure many of you guys know that. Pierce, trait, you know what I mean? Cooldown immunity, but it's a trait. Abomination Hater, that's a triple damage against abomination monsters, and then area poison. Very nice in my opinion. He doesn't have bulwark, but he does have hardened. I mean, it's still there. But keep in mind, the cold immunity, that's a trait, not a status caster, unlike Cupid. That's like their differences. This monster does not have extra turn skills, but he hits very heavily. Like heavy light damage, massive fire damage to one enemy, moderate fire damage to everybody. You do have a triple damage with skill mirror that can be very nice paired up with, for example, Shadow Hyena, you know what I mean? Massive fire damage, you know what I mean? There's very heavy light damage. So it's very nice monster overall, and he does have access to an SN and talents from the, what era is this? Blossom era. So pretty nice monster overall, definitely worth investing in. Another monster that I kind of want to mention, let me not mention that one yet, let me save that for the last two. But another one is Daryl. So the reason why I chose Daryl over Rick in this list is because Daryl has access to Pierce as well. This monster has access to Pierce, a guard down hater. So what I would suggest is pairing this monster up with anybody that would apply guard down either as a status caster with their trait, you know what I mean, or status caster or a talent, for example. Somebody from Metro era, for example. Metro era, you know, there's a talent that actually applies guard down in the beginning of battle, so it goes very well with this monster. You do have the survivor, the survivor trait as well, which is very nice. Dark protection. I wish this was to everybody in your team. Double healing. So pretty nice monster overall. I don't have access to him because he was behind paywall. But yeah, pretty good monster overall. I don't think he's obtainable anymore. Maybe in the near future he might be. But moving on. I think this is everybody's favorite. Actually, let me save this for the last three because this one's really good. So let me save it for the last three. But moving on, let's go into the next one. This one is from this era. Can you guys guess who it is? There it is, Malzerk. Malzerk is one of the best attackers that was released in this era. Stats are pretty up to date. He does have access to Cold Blood, not Pierce, but Cold Blood. Cold Blood is like a downgrade version of Pierce. You do have Mechanical Hater, triple damage, and True Vision, so you don't miss your attacks. So pretty nice monster overall. He does have, like, I think it's a massive, right? Massive magic damage, yeah, which gives you double damage. So he's a heavy hitter, I would say. Very nice monster overall. Definitely worth investing in. I do like the relic slots as well, but you don't have access to any talents. So anyways, pretty good monster though overall. Not bad. Not bad at all. Moving on. Guess who is next on the list? Now moving on to some hybrid monsters. One is from the Blossom. Naya. I feel like Naya is still very nice. If you pair it up with Shadow Hyena, like those two monsters make such a good duo. I feel like Shadow Hyena with Naya. Those two are just unstoppable. So pretty good for Team Wars or PvP, especially Team Wars right now, not PvP, especially if you're playing competitively. Nobody or almost nobody's like using Naya on their defense or offense anymore. Reason for that is because almost everybody's running Lamuna with Sky Cold and either Cthulhu or another monster on the side, and it's really hard to win against that with a Naya setup. So it's a really good Team Wars monster, let's say. But for PvP, you can still use it up to like maybe Legendary 4 League or something. Maybe even Legendary 3 or 2, probably. But yeah, pretty good monster overall. Next monster is this one's also a hybrid. Can you guys guess who it is? There it is, Sky Cold. I recently maxed this monster out as well. It's a very nice attacker. It is supposed to be a tank, but he can be used as an attacker. I've made videos on it. He's just very powerful. Like, look, if I actually show you guys right now on PvP, let me see who's running him as an attacker. So that player is obviously not running it. I want to see if there is a player that is actually running this monster as their attacker. Obviously not you, because you're running the Pierce monster's attacker. You have that Pierce one. Maybe some of them are probably pairing it up and like they're using him as an attacker alongside another attacker, and that's completely fine, obviously. Yeah, defense for Bunky. I think she's trying to lose trophies or something. That's what it seems like. That one's mutated with life and strength, but it's not really like pure strength. But you guys get the idea though. This monster is very nice as an attacker. It can be used as an attacker. There it is, there's one. So this player got to top 19 or something, right? With that defense, using him as an attacker. So you can definitely climb up to the top with this monster if you do run it as like pure attacker. But yeah, he's a very nice monster overall. Very nice one. Moving on. Let's actually move on to, well, there's only 3 left. There's only 3 left on my list. All right, did I put this in order? All right, let's put it in order. How's that? We're gonna put this in order, in my personal order, right? These last 3 are in order. All right. Stormbringer, I mean, a lot of you guys are probably like underestimating this monster. He is pretty good. All right, now the traits aren't really that fancy. You do have Bulwark, which is kind of fancy, but other than that, you have these 2 or 3, which is something. But what comes down to this mythic is the stats and how heavy he hits as well. There's a massive ton of damage against water monsters. You're gonna just obliterate them, especially a monster like Sky Cult, which is being used almost everywhere. Massive ton of damage. There's also electrified. You have a double damage, so if you want to, buff yourself up a little bit. He does have these other skills which like remove torches from an enemy, and then you deal 30 damage per effect, which is actually pretty strong sometimes, especially the AoE ones. So something to kind of note. And then obviously you do get some of the other like really nice skills later on when you do kind of like rank him up. For example, insane metal damage. This one comes with pierce, although it gets rid of the pierce later on. And yeah, so overall pretty powerful one, I would say. I do like the relic slots too. I think that's cool, but good monster overall. So I wanted to put him in the top 3, although maybe switch him up. It's just the stats, honestly. That's why he's so high up, is because of the stats. Like compared like a level 150, look at this, over 1.3 million life. This is just stock, you know what I mean? The stats are just stock. You don't give it any runes or anything like that to buff it up. So moving on, another really powerful monster that I wanted to add in this list. Can you guys guess who it is? From the Galactic Era. Don't worry, I didn't forget it. Where is he? There he is. Voltic Redeemed, one of the best attackers in the game. What's nice about this monster? Well, there's so much. Obviously, well, the traits could have been better. I do like the Elf Evasion with a Tough. I think those 2 are a good combo. But take a look at this. This monster can infinitely attack. He can literally infinitely attack as long as he has stamina. Nothing can stop him besides maybe shock, sure, you know what I mean, but or anticipation obviously. But once you get rid of that, you know what I mean, and once he's like open, the path's open for him, he goes nuts. Trust me. The relic or talents, the RS cape is actually very nice with that goes like along with this monster. And also one of the best masks to give to this monster to like kind of buff up his whatchamacallit, stamina would be, did I go over it? Where is it? Oh, Tensman's Mask. If you can max that out, give it to him. Although I wish the sword wasn't Kane's sword. I wish it was, or not Kane's sword, just a sword in general. I wish it wasn't. I wish it was a banner. I feel like that would have been really, very nice because this monster could have attacked even more. But yeah, once he gets to turn in, you got to be careful. He's really, really dangerous, okay? But last but not least, the best monster or the best attacker overall, in my opinion, right now is Grafina Iron Wings. I still don't have this monster, unfortunately. Although he did come around in this shop. I think he is available right now. Oh, actually, it's Rober. But it kind of comes around sometimes. I still just want to try my luck in the Conjuring event to see if I could get it from there. But yeah, it's one of the best attackers right now. And I'll go on and tell you guys in just a second. I'm sure many of you guys already know why he's the best attacker. But hey, let's go over it. I'm just trying to see if I can get any cells from him right now. That'd be cool. Nope. I'll just try one more time. Oh, okay. That's a nemesis. Yeah, definitely not. Moving on. So what makes this monster so good? Well, he has access to immune to control, trait protection, area cooldown immunity, hardened, and special true vision. He does have pierce skill as well. So that actually gives him a huge plus, you know what I mean? He has access to many different element skills, like there's thunder, metal. I think those are the only 2 unless I'm missing. I think there's a water one too, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong about that, but he's pretty good overall. So definitely the best one in my opinion right now. If you take a look at a PvP right now, everybody's running him. Like everybody has it either maxed out or close to being maxed out. Yep, that one's also maxed out. I thought it was at 110, 150 right there. Yeah, everybody has a 150 right now. And oh, except that one, that was at 100. But everybody's running it out either defense or offense, and it's literally the better version of Serpentex. And I thought I'd never actually say that, but they actually made a better monster than Serpentex, basically. But yeah, very good monster overall. So definitely worth investing in. I would definitely recommend investing in it. Team War started as well, so I'm gonna have to do my attacks. But yeah, I just wanted to make this video to help you guys out, give you guys a top 10 new list. I'm gonna have to breed some legendary monsters here, it seems like. So what I would do is breed like this. Start breeding. 1 day and 8 hours. Looks like that's a legendary. So what we can do is spend 25 jumps here. Let's help out the team. We got to get to those 10 laps, you know what I mean, one way or the other. So let's do it. Oh, Nemesis. Nice. I'm gonna do +2, 3, I guess. Right? Or I should have done 3x2. That would have made more sense. All right, 3x one more. Actually, let me see. I'll try doing a couple more. We'll do one more. Nice, and we'll go ahead and hatch Congress real quick. By the way, that's a huge tip I actually want to give you guys. Like that, I'm sure many of you guys know about it, but if you don't, whenever there's like a legendary breeding node here, don't skip it. What's really nice is that you can actually take a look at the breeding event, and there's like so many legendaries, and most of the time, like there's a 90% chance that you're actually gonna get a legendary when you breed them. So 3x2 more. You saw how I just got like 4 legendaries in a row, so that helped towards joint effort, you know what I mean? But yeah guys, that's gonna be pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. Go to the next one. Peace out.